Money in the Bank took place tonight from two locations. From the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, and the WWE corporate headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, better known as Titan Tower. Had Scott Stanford and Peter Rosenberg on the kickoff show. No one cared about that. That was from WWE headquarters. You had Elise Ashton, who was at the headquarters in front of the elevators. They showed Andre the Giant and Ric Flair statues, and they're counting down some of the top 10 moments in Money in the Bank history. Renee Young, Booker T, JBL make their predictions for the women's ladder match. Kayla Braxton interviews the New Day backstage. They promise to retain the titles. Then we get Jeff Hardy against Cesaro. Pretty much a standard SmackDown match. Really didn't need to be on the show. May as well, you could have just saved this for SmackDown. Hardy gets the win with the Swanton Bomb. And finally, the show starts. You have the video package, which was okay. And the thing about the show was it was all built around the two Money in the Bank ladder matches taking place simultaneously in the headquarters. So the earlier matches on the kickoff, on the main show, before the ladder match, was very forgettable. So we were just waiting to get set up to the main event. New Day beat Lucha House Party, The Miz and John Morrison, the Forgotten Sons, in a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. Pretty good match. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was solid. A solid tag match to open the show. New Day gets the win. No surprise there. I expected them to retain. This isn't the kind of show where you really want to have a big moment here. That's not in the ladder matches. So it was an okay match. It was one of those shows where they were really trying to kill time, because it had to fill 3 hours. I think the show was only like 2.5 hours. It was probably the shortest pay-per-view in many years. For a WWE pay-per-view, it has to be the shortest in I don't know how long. But this was a solid match. And it's one thing when it's WrestleMania, it still has the WrestleMania title. You can watch it. When it's Money in the Bank, it's okay. So this match was solid. The New Day gets the win. Big E pins Grand Metalik after hits the big ending. Lacey Evans promises to cash in and win Money in the Bank tonight, and she says she's going to cash it on Bayley, but it'd have to be after. She never did that, of course. Trey Cruz interviews Drew McIntyre backstage. He cuts a good promo. They have the R-Truth MVP match. R-Truth comes out singing and dancing. MVP and him argue before the match. No one cares. Lashley comes. Lashley kills Truth. This Miz was finished at. No one cares about that at all. Nothing match. Kayla Braxton interviews Bayley and Sasha Banks, and Sasha's wearing a really hot red outfit. And Kayla wondered if Bayley blamed Banks for her loss. Bayley cut her off, and she cut off Sasha, was going to answer, and said there's no problems between the two of them. Bayley walks off. Sasha is angry, and they're continuing to hype this match up. Eventually, when they do it, I don't know if they can do it at SummerSlam, because SummerSlam's not going to happen in Boston. I don't think so. So I don't know when they're going to do this. So you have Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's title. Sasha Banks is in her corner, and Bayley takes on Tamina. Very basic match. Tamina's not good. She's very average. She's probably one of the worst wrestlers in the company. Nothing match I didn't care for. I was hoping it would end quicker than it did. It went on for way too long. Tamina's awful in the ring. She's very sloppy. She's old. I don't know why she's getting this opportunity. What happens is we all know Sasha's going to get involved. We're all waiting for Sasha to get involved. Tamina's about to beat Bayley, which is sad. And then Sasha comes in. She distracts her. And as she does that, Tamina had Bayley in a Samoan drop position, but Bayley's able to reverse into a crucifix pin, and Tamina looks so bad the way she gets pinned. It takes her forever to land on her back. Eventually she pins her. Bayley retains the title. It's just a mess. This match sucked. Tamina has a Samoan drop again, but Sasha hits Tamina's leg, and they lay her out. Sasha lays out Tamina, and Bayley and Sasha celebrate, basically. So Bayley retains. They had Seth Rollins have an interview about his match later tonight with Drew McIntyre. Braun Strowman against Bray Wyatt. Didn't really care for this. So Bray Wyatt comes out as normal Bray Wyatt, basically as Mr. Rogers' character. You had the puppets there. They appeared at ringside, and they celebrated Braun Strowman coming home. They taunted Strowman. You had the pig one. I don't know if they knew one, but you had Ramblin' Rat, Wanda Witch, Mercy the Buzzard. Basically the standard three, and he also had the shit pig. One with shit in his... looks awful. So it was okay. It was one of those things where Strowman's going to win. This is just going to continue. My prediction not come right. I was really surprised it didn't. I thought for sure Strowman beats Bray and then the Fiend comes later. That didn't happen here. Basically, they have to go back and forth. Strowman brings out the black sheep mask. He basically teases he's going to join back with Wyatt. And then, of course, he takes off the mask, crushes the mask, hits Wyatt with a power slam. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman gets the win, retains the title, and that was it. After the match, you had the Fiend flash across the screen, are basically saying the Fiend's going to come on SmackDown, and then, of course, he's going to start the match with Braun. The Fiend might beat Braun, but of course, Braun beats regular Bray. Mysterious Hacker appears again. He says he's watching and no one's safe. I still think it's Mustafa Ali. But if they're going to invest in such a big storyline, maybe it's someone bigger. You never know. So Drew McIntyre's against Seth Rollins, and this was very good. It got really intense as the match went. This would have been great in front of a crowd, and I think in terms of an empty arena match, he did the best they could. I feel bad for Drew in a way because he really works hard. He really wants us to work. He's really taking this seriously. He wants to be the top guy, and he loves being the top star in the company. But of course, it's one of those situations where it's just he's in the worst time. He's in the right place at the worst time. That's how you explain it. They did well here. They had a good match. It was really hard working. Rollins works hard. Rollins is one of the best workers in the company. I sometimes criticize him, but in terms of in the ring, he's one of the best. He had some close near falls. He had Rollins hit the block or the curb stop. McIntyre kicks out. McIntyre, Rollins, they find on top of the turnbuckle. McIntyre tosses him across the ring. He attempts to Claymore. Rollins hits a super kick, and then that's when he kicked the curb stomp. McIntyre kicked out. The finish saw when McIntyre hit the Glasgow kiss. Rollins bounced off the ropes. He hit a super kick. McIntyre bounced off the ropes as well, and he gets hit with the Claymore. It hits Rollins with the Claymore. 1, 2, 3, retains the title. Hell of a matchup here. After the match, McIntyre wins, and he extends his hand to shake Seth Rollins' hands. Rollins shakes his hand. So I'm thinking to myself, is this a face turn for Rollins? That's where it really seemed like, okay, it seems like for sure Rollins is now a face now. This is really strange. So I guess Rollins goes face, and that's it. So they have R-Truth in the back with Charlie Caruso. This is just awful. And they're talking about the 24/7 title. He promises to win the belt back, and he's warning he's going to come after Tom Brady. And now Caruso informs everyone he met Rob Gronkowski, but I guess he got them confused. This is just a disaster. Oh, God. You have to see the Tampa Bay fucking Buccaneers. Well, it's not too far from Tampa, so I guess they can pull it off, but they're going to do that angle. No one cares. I guess if you like, I do. I know it's Tom Brady. Hey, if Tom Brady appears on your show, I understand, but I don't really want to see it. Main event, double Money in the Bank ladder match, men's and women's. On the men's, you have AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, King Corbin, Otis, Aleister Black, and Rey Mysterio. The woman, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Carmella, Dana Brooke, and Lacey Evans. 2 Money in the Bank briefcases. Of course, the green is for the men, the white is for the woman. So the woman's starting the lobby, backstage in the lobby. The men basically start in the weight room, which was strange. They introduced all of them, and they're all getting ready to come out. It was kind of funny because them sort of way they introduced them was just, it was just, I don't know. I bet when they were filming it seemed really unnatural, but they play everyone's music. They had Carmella doing the stupid moonwalk, and of course it drags. You can hear her shoes dragging on the floor. So it starts off on the woman with Asuka. They're looking for her. She never shows up. And then she's on the balcony. And all the women's here. And she jumps off on the balcony. And she falls on all the women. And it was really funny the way they did it. And it was a cool segment. And, of course, Asuka laughs. And she jumps in the elevator. And she starts dancing in the elevator as went up. And that was actually really funny. The men are in the gym. As I said, Corbin tries to kill Daniel Bryan with a weight plate. And he accidentally throws it into the mirror and it smashes the mirror. This is like the third weights room spot I've seen. First one was the Gargano in the last couple months. And Gargano and Ciampa fighting the Performance Center. And, of course, Theodore and Edge have a long match in the Performance Center in that gym. What happened there at the stupid hanging spot. And then you had this. And I'm sure the mirror's broken all 3 times. They broke it. Well, the cool spot was in Otis. He places a heavy barbell on AJ Styles' chest, and it traps him. Styles is asking for help. He asks Ray to help. Ray just runs off. The men participants run off, and then, of course, Ray goes into the washroom, and that's where he bumps into Brother Love, who is taking a shit. Then men fighting in the hallway. Bryan, Otis, and Corbin all run into the same elevator to continue to fight. The women are fighting up the stairs. A few of them. They try to get in the elevator, but the men got off. Everyone's brawling, and Aleister Black and Asuka are able to sneak off. Daniel Bryan starts rocking Corbin with the yes kicks, and it was funny. They had Otis doing the yes, yes. And then, of course, Bryan starts hitting. And this was like in a mini ring. So they basically have in the headquarters a room where you have a mini ring set up with a ring and, of course, like a steel cage behind. And there was even a cage spot. It was really cool. That's basically like an interview place. I thought that was really interesting the way they set it up. And he gets hit, Daniel Bryan. He hits him, and he hits Otis with the kicks as well. That was really entertaining. You had and there was even a cage spot. You had Jax, Baszler, and Brooke. They fight in the conference room, so Asuka and Lacey were not there yet. They fight in the conference room, and Brooke wiped out Jax with the steel chair, and she's down. Asuka was down earlier by Jax, and she pulls down the fake briefcase, has money in it, and she thinks she won. Stephanie shows up and tells her this was just the conference room, and then it was really entertaining. Stephanie made a cameo, and of course Carmella hits Dana Brooke with a picture of Carmella winning the Money in the Bank briefcase from 3 years ago. Carmella moonwalks out of the room, and then of course Lacey knocks her with the woman's right. Styles searches for Rey Mysterio in the hallway. He wants to kill him because he tried to kill him. He sees a picture of the Undertaker. He gets scared. He walks into a room with a purple light and a cast, and it's the Undertaker's music. It starts playing, and Styles starts having flashbacks to the Boneyard match. That was really funny. Black then shows up, and he throws him into the room. He locks the door and runs off, and AJ is freaking out. Paul Heyman was enjoying a feast, and he basically showed Heyman just eating. He's getting ready to eat. And the men and women face off, and Otis yells, "Food fight!" And they all start throwing food at each other, which was really funny. There was just everything. It was like basically a Thanksgiving dinner. It's a big food fight spot, which is entertaining. Baszler hits the cruciated clutch on Mysterio and chokes him out. Jax and Otis, then they sandwich Rey Mysterio. Ends with Otis and Jax, the last one standing. Otis then went to the cafeteria, picked up a pie. John Laurinaitis shows up in his car, and he hits Laurinaitis with the pie. That was funny. Women run up to the roof first. They get to the roof. Bryan and Black fight in the hallway. Styles shows up. Bryan and Styles fight into Vince's office. Vince is there, and they both leave like losers. Say, "Oh, we're sorry." This is why, back in the Attitude Era, you had Vince getting his ass kicked by everyone. Now, they're nice to him. They basically cleaned Vince's office. We didn't see a T-Rex, but we got to see the T-Rex bones. We didn't see anyone get hit with the bones. They fix the chairs, and they start fighting in the hallway. And then Corbin and Black show up as well. Asuka and Jax finally get to the roof, and Asuka and Nia they clear the ring. They brought in the ladder. She climbs up, but Nia climbs up. Asuka cuts her off. Lacey tries climbing up, but Asuka pulls her down. And it's basically those two. We didn't see the other three: Carmella, Dana, and who was the other one? Shayna. Oh, Shayna did come actually, but I don't think we saw Carmella and Dana fight. Asuka and Evans fight to the top ladder. Asuka knocks off Ensign. She landed on Nia Jax. Asuka climbs to the top. Corbin runs up the same ladder. Actually, no, Shane didn't come. And then Asuka beats up Corbin. She knocks him off. Asuka pulls down the briefcase. Asuka is her winner. She wins the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Basically in the same match as the men's one. And Asuka wins. That's it for Asuka. They have Michael Cole on commentary commenting about it. Then it turns into a basic ladder match. Mysterio and Black are fighting on top of the ladder when Styles knocks him over. Corbin grabs Rey Mysterio and tosses him over the side of the building. He's like he killed him, but he really didn't. It was just basically, it was basically like a cushion. You could even see it. He does the same thing to Aleister Black. So Baron Corbin murders Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black. Comes down to Corbin, Styles, Bryan, and Otis. Styles hits the phenomenal forearm on Otis. Styles and Corbin fight on top of the ladder. They both get their hands on a briefcase and pull it down, and it's over. One of them won. Okay, they do the same thing at WrestleMania with the Morrison and Kofi and Jimmy Uso. This is the exact same spot, but they do the same spot. The Money briefcase has been pulled down. Styles has it, and so is Corbin. All of a sudden, Elias shows up and he smashes his guitar over Corbin's back. Corbin falls down, and in that moment, Styles loses control of the briefcase, and it falls away from Styles, and it lands into Otis's arms. Otis wins. Otis wins Money in the Bank. It fumbled, and he catches it. He couldn't run because he was crashing the legs, or to get off. But Otis gets the Money in the Bank. He wins it. It ends with Otis celebrating his big win, his biggest win of his career. They're giving Otis the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think they should give it to a heel, but Otis gets it. He wins Money in the Bank. He might win champion. He might be the champion. You never know, but that's how it ends. So you have Asuka and Otis. They recap that as your 2 winners. And that was Money in the Bank. Probably the shortest pay-per-view in many years. Many years. Never see a show 2.5 hours. I don't mind it. I'm not complaining. But it was definitely a first in quite some time to have a show that short. I thought it was okay. I thought they did the best they could. Hopefully we get a real Money in the Bank this time. So the 4th Money in the Bank I reviewed. So hopefully next year's in front of real people.